P. Sainath has written about paid news. He says paid news is radical enough to threaten the existence of legitimate journalism. Now, you worked in the Times of India for 9 years. What is your experience of paid news?
When I was at the Times of India, I think paid news was beginning to make its entry in the form of MediaNet, in the form of private treaties, but this tended to be confined to supplements like Delhi Times, for example. You know, you were organizing a party and you paid money and you got your news featured and it ran as news. Since I've left the Times of India and one has seen what's been happening, Press Council has documented this.
The frightening part is that when Times of India first started it and there was an uproar, Sameer Jain said they're all making a noise now, but sooner or later they will all follow. And sadly they have.
Yeah. Well, I can say the Hindu certainly doesn't follow, and there are many papers that don't, but there are many papers that do. If you look at the list that is there in the report by Paranjoy Guha Thakurta up on the Press Council website now, of newspapers that were involved in regional editions of national papers, there's lots of newspapers, unfortunately, that have fallen prey to this. And my fear is that paid news has gone beyond the realm of political news and beyond the realm of electioneering, and has now entered. I think now you have corporate houses, you have business news that gets printed in newspapers, disguised as news. I think many television programs are sponsored in ways that viewers are not made aware. So I think newspapers and TV channels have an obligation to disclose. But part of the appeal of paid news is that companies and politicians know that they know it's more credible because it's dressed up as news. And I think this is a major sickness that has crept into the Indian media that needs to be purged.
Isn't this sort of undermining our own credibility by doing things like this, and consequently what has happened now, that the anger against the media and journalists wherever you go is huge.
Absolutely. The Indian market is vibrant enough to allow companies to earn a normal rate of profit, maybe even more than that, 10 or 12% return.
So this is just greed.
Return. You don't need to go that extra to do all of those things, to cut corners, to play fast and loose with ethics in order to earn revenue. You're now running a website. I don't think you threaten the Hindu or other newspapers in any way commercially. You don't threaten TV either. TV grows, we grow, everybody's growing, right?
Now, when you did the ad campaign, which was fun, clever, the Hindu paper's strength is more than anything else the fact that one paper, TOI, is known for its paid news and advertorials and Connect and all that, the private treaties. And why didn't you do an ad on that?
When we launched some new editions recently in Kozhikode and printing centers in Allahabad, Mohali, we put in an editor's note where we emphasize to readers that with the Hindu, you're getting news that nobody else has paid for. The only person who's paid for it is you, the reader. So there are ways in which this issue has to be raised, and you educate readers. There are various concepts that one can work on. The reason why we ran those particular sets of commercials, the trigger for it in a way, was the Times of India's ad against the Hindu, which ran in the South. We felt that we should respond, but we should respond in a way that makes a larger point. Readers being conscious about what they consume as readers, and that if you don't pay attention to the quality of what you read, or even to what you watch, your act of reading or viewing can be injurious to your intellectual health. This is the fundamental point, right? So we did this through these young people whose minds had been addled through years perhaps of reading trivia that masquerades as news, and to emphasize that, look, there is an alternative if you want to get ahead.